right, welcome back. It has been way over a month since our last episode, but I think we had a pretty solid show today. I'm your host Vince, and with always we're here with Richie.
Ooh, it's great to be back.
And as a special guest, I am very happy. I've been trying to get him on the show for a while. This is my brother Anthony.
Hey, how you doing?
We're all doing good. One of the things that's fun for everyone to kind of know about is one of the reasons I was excited to have Anthony here is because way deep in the old YouTube days, me, Richie, and Anthony we had a comedy YouTube channel, and we used to do it every Friday. Richie would get off the bus at my stop, and we would try to think of all these crazy skits to do, and it was like every Friday. We were more dedicated to that than this podcast.
Yeah, we were.
And it was a lot more difficult. Even though we were very bad at making videos, this is a lot easier.
This is way easier. This is a conversation.
This is just a conversation. You don't have to worry about shots or anything.
Right.
And yet, we were doing it every Friday because we were dedicated. It was a lot of fun.
We also would rather do anything other than homework.
This is true. So today, today's topic was kind of voted in a Twitter poll. It's introverts versus extroverts. So we'll just start on that right now. So, what was the first time?
Every topic that we do, Vince does his list, and then he goes, whatever it is, music, poetry, art, Genghis Khan's life history. It starts with, what was your first, and then whatever that is.
Right.
What was your first history book that you read? I was 5, and
Well, it's nice because then you kind of start.
nice, you
start the little history.
What was your first what?
what was the first time you realized you were quiet, or maybe you weren't quiet?
First time you were quiet.
Well, I was born.
Do you feel like when you were younger, you were more of an extrovert or introvert, and then now you're older, and opposite?
You're right.
Wait, who's doing someone should do some research, or no, you guys don't do that.
That's right. You guys don't want to be good.
Yeah.
No, like someone should say oh yeah, I feel like, can you even change? Can it change? Are you always an introvert, always an extrovert?
I'm not gonna do research. Who am I kidding?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, what do you even research that? Like percentages of people who change their mind?
Here's a good question.
What's an extrovert?
Okay,
No, here's a question. What's more favored, an introvert or an extrovert?
What
do you think?
I think people are less annoyed by introverts. Maybe that's 'cause
Are you an introvert?
I'd say so. I'd say, I'm a mix. I'm introverted, but I'm a good actor. I think the only reason I know this is because of home videos, of watching them, and I don't think I was self-reflecting as like a toddler. Like there's a home video. It's Christmas. It's Easter morning, and my parents are filming, and then Richie's waking up. I'm probably 3, and I come down the stairs, and I make it like 6 steps down, and I look up, and I see the camera, and I see my sister, and I see my dad, and then I just sit back down the stairs, and I just start crying. Nothing was spoken, and no one knows why. I'm just a broken child, and I feel like that's like nothing's changed since then, except most of the time I don't cry anymore. I cry on the inside, and no one has to know. Like if it's too many people being loud for no reason, and maybe I don't trust that one because I didn't trust my parents. They only knew one for 3 years at that point.
See the camera set up.
What are they doing? It's a hoax. Ashton Kutcher coming out.
These aren't your real parents.
Let's catch his reaction when he finds out he's different.
So now 2016, Christmas, did you come down the stairs, see the camera, sit down, cry on the inside?
Right, on the inside. There's no camera now. They don't give a shit what I like if it's a bike.
They do it like a selfie style. We were Richie on the steps.
We out here. He's crying.
So other than you crying on the stairs, when you were, I don't know, just like when you were a kid.
After I'm cute when I'm 3, up until like the home video stop, it's just me saying the least funny things, and I think I'm funny. I'm super hyper because you're just trying to figure out what's funny.
Yep.
And my mom just doesn't have the time. Yeah, Richie, that's funny. What about this? Take a Power Rangers head off. I don't know. I think I was pretty objectively shy. But I think once I wasn't shy, then I wasn't shy at all. And I think that's probably like what I just said like a minute ago. probably isn't that great of a description, but I think like that's a much better description. Is I was super shy. I don't need to talk to anybody. I'm not going shaking hands. Even now, if I see someone I'm like pretty good, like just below my best friends out in public, I'm probably not gonna say hi to them. Like if I can get away with not being seen by like someone I just had a class with, I'll probably not do that. So I feel like I'm shy until I'm not, and then I'm the exact opposite of shy. So it's with a close knit group of people. Anthony?
So I feel like we're like that, but if we see someone that we know, I feel like I have to say hi, so it won't be awkward.
Yeah.
And I think it's because the way our dad raised us.
Yeah.
Whenever you went in a room, you had to say hi to everybody. You miss somebody, get your ass whooped.
Yeah, I remember getting yelled at for not saying hi to people, and I'm like, we didn't even enter the house yet.
Right.
He's like, make sure you guys say hi.
So now, like, if you're out in public and I see someone, I go, someone's gonna beat my ass. If I don't say hi.
It's in the back of my head now.
Right.
I feel like, Anthony, since you grew up with me, I want you to kind of take a stab at what did you think about me as a kid?
You were an introvert.
Okay.
But I thought I was an extrovert. But then when everybody tells me I never said 2 words.
Yeah.
I thought I was nuts and crazy.
Yeah.
So there must have been something wrong with me. Because I thought I was yelling and talking to everybody.
Yeah.
But then we watched videos. I didn't say 2 words.
Yeah.
So there's a problem right there.
Who was I talking to?
Yeah, that was kind of weird. Like,
Yeah.
it was funny, but nobody was like acted the way I did. You build up inside jokes, and then you go meet people you've never seen before and try to use those same jokes. Like,
Yeah.
oh, what the hell's wrong with you?
You set the tone of this is what we expect from Anthony.
Right.
And so it's now we get that it's not him being weird.
Right.
It's him being funny.
Right.
Yeah. I remember, well, I guess I only remember this strictly from watching home videos, but there were some home videos where I would be so shy that I would like hide away from the camera and get like really sad.
That's
and like,
true.
you know, because they would go, oh, Vince over here. And the only thing I can think of was at that time, I kind of remember the feeling like I felt like they were not like maybe like pulling a prank on me. Like I felt like there was onto something. Like, why is this camera on my face? What do you want me to do? But then, like, maybe like a year or two later, I'm hogging the camera. I'm like rapping and doing like the Bart Simpson rap. And
That's what I remember, though, because I don't remember you that younger stage. So I remember that, when you were all in front of the camera.
But you were, Anthony, you were just very hyper. You were just a hyper kid, so you were constantly running around doing stuff. So, but I mean, I guess like you didn't have time to talk. You were running around.
So out of breath.
Well, see, in grade school, I was not introvert at all.
Mm-hmm.
I went to high school, 100% introvert.
Now, why is that? Do you
I
think?
have no idea.
Okay.
That's what I came here for. I thought this was.
I thought they were going to help. Yeah, we're going to help by the end. Because all of my grades in elementary school, we got numbers. We didn't get A, B, and C. We got numbers. And it was hardly, there's math, English, but it was mainly on behavior. And the higher the number, the worse that the grade is. And all of my things on like being quiet and sitting still and everything like that and being appropriate all got 4s, which is the highest it can be. And so I don't know what the problem was or who I was or why I was so comfortable. I don't know who I'm comfortable with, but I couldn't sit still at all. And but that was in elementary school. And then I don't know if we just because it changed. I don't know if you just develop cues. I have no idea.
I don't know. Like, Vince, were you in grade school? Were you hyper and like couldn't sit in your seat?
No, I was calm. Here's the thing. I could have like a Red Bull and like or like a Mountain Dew mix, and I would just be calm. Like I could
Vince
just
is never hyper though.
I'm like never.
Have you ever
It's
seen
not
Vince
hyper.
I'm not hyper.
Right.
I'm not physically active. Like I'm not gonna run. I'm not gonna do this stuff. I got in trouble a lot when I was in preschool. I went to my friend and I said, "Hey, you know what's really funny?" And he said, "What?" So I turned around and I mooned him, pulled my pants out, everything. The teacher was right behind her. We was working on something, and then she turned around and she saw me mooning and she started yelling at me. And I was like, "No, you don't understand. I was mooning my friend. I wasn't mooning you. I was throwing him in." So I got in trouble for that. And then I remember in kindergarten, I was like running around with my friends. I was kind of like ignoring the teacher or whatever. So I got a note home, and my dad was not happy. I remember this vividly. I was in the kitchen. my dad, took out the slip. He took out his belt and he just started smacking it against the table like really loud. So that just like freaked me out, right? He didn't touch me, he didn't hit me or anything, but he would just hit the table and that would scare me, right?
Loud noise.
And I remember this distinctly. He went to my mom and he goes, Patty, he goes, hide the other kids. I don't want them to see this. And my mom totally played the part. She's like, okay. Like, took him and left, and I was like, where are they going? After that, never misbehaved.
Yeah.
Never again.
See, now, I didn't learn from that.
Yeah.
No.
Not at all. I had every type of discipline, timeout, grounding, nothing. Didn't do nothing. Don't know why. All made sense to
I sure wish it would stick.
Right. Did not.
Oh, that's so funny.
Like, what would happen? Like, it never just, like, to me, it would internalize and it would just get stuck. Even if they just yelled at me, like, or just we're disappointed. Like, that would rot in my soul.
For some
Anthony
reason,
would just start whistling, like, okay.
So it's flicking like swirling like
Because
a chain.
you know what it was?
wallet.
It's like I couldn't do something anymore, so I just found something else.
Yeah.
And I'd make it equally as fun.
Yeah.
That was the biggest problem.
Yeah.
My mom would ground me off of everything. I just have to sit in my room. I just play with myself at that point. I did make the best of every situation.
Yeah.
It could be that's a bad thing. Like,
right.
Like, it can be good because you're making the best of every situation.
Right.
No.
No punishment.
Right.
One time, my mom found out in elementary school that I was throwing out my lunch. Like, I wasn't eating all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then one time, she goes, eat your sandwich. Like, this has been building up. She goes, eat your sandwich. I was like, no, I threw it out. And she just, like, flipped her lid. Again, this is all an act. And she had this prepared, like, for this event because she knew. And she's like, well, and she had an envelope of money. And she goes like, I guess we just don't need this. And she threw it in the trash. Because that's what you're doing when you don't eat food. You're wasting money. That's probably the most dramatic thing of my life, watching my mom throw an envelope full of money in the trash as she's yelling at me because I didn't eat my sandwich. I ate it every time. And I got chubby when I was 12. You see what happens? Bad relationship with food. My neighbor told me, he said, and I quote, who's older than me, if you take wet paper towel and you throw it on the ceiling in the boys' bathroom, you won't get in trouble. And I go, got it. And so I did that, and I got in trouble.
There's no elementary school in the world that doesn't have the wet paper towel still attached
What
like
is
cement.
it? I don't understand.
Well, you won't get in trouble if you do it. Yeah, I'll tell you that much.
Was that the thing?
I don't know.
I remember seeing that in those ceilings. I never did it though.
I think that was
I
heavy
don't
on like
know
Hey
anybody
Arnold
who
or
did it.
something.
You're the first person I know who did it. I've always see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Missed 2 weeks of recess because of that.
Oh jeez.
And why is that such a problem?
I don't know. Well, we had to go around now the school and pull off all the paper towel, and by that time they dry, and now it's attached to the ceiling. And so when you take it off, we're using like a broken hockey stick, and it just ripped it off, like
the paint?
ripped the paint of the ceiling.
Drywall,
yeah.
Oh wow.
So yeah, damaged property, whatever.
Where do you guys think you are now? I mean, I guess you could either we could do the thing where you have to lean towards one or the other. You got to pick a side. But I'm kind of interested, just as an overall, where do you feel like you fall?
I feel like I'm still an introvert now.
I think so.
But I'm a lot more comfortable meeting new people.
Yeah.
Like, I can go somewhere and say hi to people. Like,
Yeah.
And kind of be a little more outgoing.
I think it's because, I mean, at this point, you learn how
Just a
to...
little more mature, I guess.
Yeah,
maybe.
and you're like, this is what is needed of me so I can have a job or meet people or not feel awkward. You did that already. We did it for 10 years.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do, and so now I just felt awkward.
Right.
But I think it's harder because I'm in the same boat as far as I have no idea what my answer is supposed to be because, like, I feel like I process things as an introvert, but I feel like no one would be able to tell, and I don't think I'm crazy on either end of the spectrum. I think I do what needs to be done in the situation. I shake the hand, and I blah, 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 I tell a joke or an anecdote when it's appropriate, and then I don't if it's not appropriate.
Yeah.
And then I don't let people know I'm in the corner just like eating yogurt slowly. I'm just like looking at people.
My thing is when it comes to social events, I don't like big groups. Mm-hmm. I have a thing against, like, I just don't like, if they say, hey, want to hang out? Yeah, sweet. I'm going to invite Bobby, Darren, Josie.
Bobby Darren,
Josie, Billy, Bobby. Like, I'm going to invite the whole football team and all these other people you don't know. I'm going to be like, you know what? I forgot. I don't want to go.
See,
Like,
you
I'm
know
sick.
what's funny about that? Like, I like when there's everybody there, but I don't want to hang out with everybody.
Right.
Like, I like when, like, if I go somewhere, I want everybody to be there, and then I want to, me and a buddy are going to, like, not leave, but we're going to, like, go in the corner.
That's what I do.
And then when I'm sick of this guy, I'm
Yeah.
going to grab the other guy. We're going to go in the corner.
Yeah. That's what I do at every party. Not necessarily like in the corner, but this is what I like to do.
Right.
So
But see, I like it.
Yeah.
I'd rather have more people there. I don't, maybe because, like, when the more people are there, the more you can hide.
Yeah. No, there's
Maybe
no
something like
chance
that. It's
there's
like-
attention
Yeah.
on you.
Right. It's like
Yeah.
maybe it's something like that.
Well, that's why I hate I used to hate like my own birthday parties. I like going to other people's birthday parties.
Yeah.
You know, like for family and stuff, because then you can get like you and like your favorite cousin and be like, hey, let's go over here and play GameCube or something. So like you go off and let's go on a bike ride.
That's
And, like
the
you go
best.
right away.
Hiding to play GameCube.
Yeah. And then like a younger kid's like, what are you doing? Get out of here.
Smoking. Ah, shut the door.
No, I like so like if someone texts me and was like, "Hey, want to go out? Just us two,
Yeah.
me and a buddy." It's like I will, but it's like I'd rather like, hey, me, this person, this person, this person, this person. We're all going here to do this, 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 and this.
Yeah.
You want to hang out? Be sure. Are you going? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go. And when I get there, I ain't gonna talk to nobody.
Right.
Like, but I want that buddy. Like,
That's
just do like
so
you
weird
said.
because
Like,
I can't explain
I enjoy
why
it
I
more. I don't
enjoy
know
that.
why, yeah.
Here's what happens to me though is we'll do that. Like, hey, Richie's like, hey, want to hang out? Great. I'm gonna invite the entire population of Montana. Great. I go there. I end up getting stuck in the table at the restaurant, sitting next to someone I really don't know or don't want to talk to. So I'm sitting there talking to them, and the person I want to talk to is like on the way opposite end of the table, and I'm like, why am I even here? I don't care what this guy's been up to.
That's why you show up not first and not
Yep.
last. Because you show up first, you sit down, you got plenty of room for Jimbo to sit
right?
next to you.
'Cause whoever comes next.
Yeah, and be like,
next
oh,
to you.
gee, thank
Hey,
God
Richie."
Vince is here. Hey! Tell you about, I just got my wisdom teeth taken out. Could you help me with my gauze? Or then if you come in too late, there's one seat left, and it's still next to Jimbo, because who the
Yep.
hell would want to sit next to
Yeah.
Jimbo? He's got to change his gauze.
One thing I think Anthony, because I noticed Anthony, you'll even do that for like family events and stuff. Is I noticed that our dad and our uncle does that a lot.
Yeah.
They'll get in a
Like,
big group. They'll get, we're gonna invite Joey and all these people, and then you find out like they're gone, and they're like they
went golfing.
They went golfing. Like they just like left. They just
They
like
used to do that
Yeah.
every like birthday party. They like wait for the cake and then they were gone.
Yeah.
Where'd they go? They went golfing.
What?
I was so mad. Why didn't I go?
You invite me?
yeah, it's my birthday.
They used to always go golfing.
Yeah. And then in the winter, they would just sit in their car and listen to the newest recording that they
Yep.
made, full blast in their car.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, like my thing is I'm very like quality over quantity. And I don't know so much quality, but like I just want to sit down with somebody or have like a nice car ride with them and just talk my ear off to them for 6 hours. And then, but then if it's like a whole group, I'm like, I can't get any discussion in because all these people are talking. I'm like, what about me?
You guys want to know how I feel about this?
Yeah. You're trying to, hey, remember Joey, inside joke. And
Yeah.
everyone's like, who cares?
Don't you hate? I hate personally when you're with a group of like, it doesn't really matter, more than 3 people, and then a majority of the people go out of their way to do an inside joke that you're blatantly not a part of for like a couple of minutes. Like it's like, oh, remember the time we
So they do that.
Alligator.
Alligator.
You're like, yeah, alligator.
Look, I
in
love
the
alligators.
Bag. Yeah.
How many teeth do I have? Shut up. You don't even know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
How many? Alligator, huge. Just saying vowels and adjectives.
So people who actually be like, no, I'm an extrovert.
I don't think a lot of people claim to be an extrovert because I think it's universally the worst one.
Yeah, it's almost like a
that's the
sign
thing.
of
So that's the thing,
weakness.
yeah, what is there a better,
Right. I feel like because I'm trying to think of anyone on earth who would say I'm an extrovert because it almost says I'm annoying. But maybe that's just because I'm an introvert.
right? Because some people like the extroverts like, oh, are you if you take the quiz, it's like, are you the life of the party?
Right.
Everybody wants to put hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm the life of the party.
Absolutely.
I am the party.
And then you want to say, but I'm introverted.
then the next question, how many parties have you gone to? 0.
That's the follow-up question on the quiz. It goes, never mind. Introvert.
I go to 0 parties, therefore there is no more life at the parties. Extroverted, to me, it's like
Talking without thinking.
To me, it sounds like it's like talking about thing like I'm vulnerable. Like want my credit card information? That's what I think of. But at the same time, I feel like at the end of the day, I can laugh at myself. I feel like now I'm more extroverted. Like, who cares if you don't like it? Okay, there's a billion people on this planet. Someone else will like it,
right?
Especially now that I'm married, I'm like, who cares? I can do what I want.
Right.
But then there's other times where I'm like, oh, it's not just us hanging out. I'm gonna sit here and be quiet.
When your introverted comes out.
Yeah, like my introvert comes out. I'm like, oh, I thought we were gonna have a great discussion about life. I haven't seen you in like a month, and you want to invite all these people here. So I'm gonna sit here and angrily like slow talk. Like, that's just what I do.
So I looked up the like definition of extrovert. So it says an outgoing, overly expressive person. The synonyms, outgoing person, sociable person, socializer, life of the party. Oh. And then in quotations, just like used in a sentence, it says, like many extroverts, he was unhappy inside. I swear, look.
Oh my God. And that's Google's. Dude.
Yeah, that wasn't even Urban Dictionary or something.
Oh my God.
Why does it say that?
Like many, like they didn't.
Is that a thing?
They should have like cited their source, like after something so.
Like many extroverts,
he was
unhappy
inside.
If you have the spelling bee, use the word in the definition.
Yeah, that's the first one because like the next one they do is an adjective. His extrovert personality made him the ideal host. That's like a more like
that makes sense.
Like many extroverts, he was unhappy inside.
That's so dark.
Yeah.
You think,
oh my God.
I would thought maybe that was more like introvert. Just like he's not.
That's what I mean. Introverted, you're all what you're in. You keep it in.
I'm not saying I'm unhappy inside, but it's like more like you don't want to show yourself.
You know what I feel like is funny is I feel like the only people who know whether they're an introvert or an extrovert are introverts because they're the only one who has this much time to think to themselves.
Exactly.
Like extroverts aren't being like, am I an extrovert? That's an introvert quality. They go, oh no, I'm an introvert.
But also think of like back in the 50s when there wasn't technology and there was barely a telephone. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like those people, they were like back then in the 50s and stuff, if there was like a subdivision or a neighborhood, everybody literally knew everybody.
Mm-hmm. Do you think introvert and extrovert is like a new thing?
I think that's what I'm trying to get at is I feel like introvert is more of a new kind of thing.
It's a luxury, I think.
Yeah, it's like a luxury because you could literally live your whole lifestyle without saying a word. I mean, you can even order your groceries online and your food and like pay your bills. Like you don't have to technically, depending on what you're doing, you could do your whole job online. You could do your school, like everything. You don't have to necessarily talk to somebody. Mm-hmm. Whereas back then, in order to survive, you needed communication with somebody. Mm-hmm. You needed to be able to go out and talk to you, even with strangers, like anybody. I also have this other theory that extroverts kind of died off and introverts were more like celebrated and all that stuff during like when kids started getting abducted in like the 70s. I feel like, and I say that because, I feel like the part that that was more introverted, that was more held off was if you went up to maybe some sort of stranger or you saw somebody. I remember like my parents like freaking out. I remember one time I saw an ice cream truck and I was so excited and I ran to the ice cream truck but I was with my parents and they were fuming because they were like, what if that was a stranger and he took you away? And now it's like you have that inner child of like, I don't know who that guy is.
See, my thoughts
that guy could have a knife.
If he's a stranger, took me away. Great, my parents' an ice cream driver, and I can get all the ice cream I want.
Get family discount.
Yeah, get the SpongeBob and the
possible. His nose is a gumball.
It was the eyeballs.
That would be great.
And they always dissolved way too quick.
No, there's so much like parent paranoia.
So more. So you're saying more introverts are more like a survival.
Yeah, I feel like now because our parents kind of train us that because they've seen kids that were getting abducted, kids that were getting stolen and all that type of stuff. Whereas back in like, like the 50s stuff, even when they were growing up or their parents were growing up, everybody knew everybody. So there was no like creepy person that stole you, even though they say that people who abduct you most likely know the kid. But besides that, everybody felt comfortable because it was like your neighbor was almost like your brother. You know what I mean? It was like everyone. It was a tight knit community. Therefore, they embraced being social because they said, "Oh, you can't stay inside. Go play with Johnny. I don't care if you have a fight with Johnny. You just have to get along with him." Whereas now it's like, "Yeah, you know what, honey, stay inside." Anthony, you remember our neighborhood when we would come home. We went to private school, so we would get home an hour after everyone else did. We didn't know that kids existed in our sub. We seriously thought we lived in an old person's sub because the only people we saw was like the occasional guy with like white hair who we thought was in like 1,000 years old working on his yards. We thought we were in an old retirement home. It wasn't until we got home early one day and we saw the public school kids come out and literally every house was flooded with kids coming in and out of it. I'm like, I've never seen these children before. And then we finally went to public school and realized that our whole sub was filled with kids. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, how come we never saw these kids play outside? We were outside literally wearing costumes, skateboarding, doing stunts, playing with the dogs, going crazy. Never saw a single soul of these kids. It was the weirdest thing. So I was like, they probably kept them inside and said, here, play this, watch TV. Don't go outside. It's scary out there. If you go outside for a couple minutes, childhood obesity, I don't know.
Let me ask you this. Do you think, this is kind of a different topic, but do you think there's characteristics, there's traits that died off because of natural selection? When you think of all the different personalities now, right? Do you think there's any that there's no more this person? So if we went in a time machine back 200 years, there'd be a personality you've never seen before. And the guy's just out of his mind, just the weirdest personality. And nobody wanted to date this person. Oh, yeah. So that personality died off because of natural selection.
Absolutely.
I mean, sure.
So you go back.
I feel like 200 years isn't generous enough. Let's say
1,000 years ago. Yeah.
I say 1,000 years ago. I could get behind
let's say
that.
the Jesus times.
Yeah.
Is there some people?
There's got to be some guy
who just could not make it through life because of that personality. That's not gonna.
This guy.
That's not.
That was normal then. There was there's that one guy. Yeah.
They were like, yeah. There's introverts. There's extroverts. There's middleverts. There's vertical verts.
Yeah. And there's Gary.
Yeah.
He's the last Gary of
the last of the Garys.
How is there still lazy people in the world?
Lazy people can be smart now.
Yeah.
So they're like, he's a genius.
Right.
Yeah.
He's on the couch. He invented Google.
Yeah.
Loves potato chips.
But you think
and great search items.
So we all have it in us not to be lazy.
Yeah.
Because that's how we're here.
Yeah.
If you were lazy, you didn't go out and get food. You had kids in the cave, and you're like,
but at the same
I'll
time,
do it tomorrow.
Yeah. The drive-through cave.
They died next day.
At the tender age of 20.
We're kind of designed not to be lazy. That's what keeps us alive,
That's how
right?
Yeah.
But everything that we make is to make us lazy.
Yeah.
Literally everything.
Because we're so sick of not being lazy. We're we've been not lazy for 2,000 years.
Hey, instead of going 500 miles and talking to this person, we created mail. You can just write something and send it over.
Writing got to
I don't want to do that. I just want to talk to them, but I don't want to leave my house. Okay, we'll make the telephone. Okay, I really don't want to talk. I kind of want to wait a second. I gotta go back to writing, but I'm not gonna handwrite. I just want to press buttons.
Each button, you don't have to do the whole twirl thing. You just press a button.
Yeah, it's okay. Then they create the computer and the email. Everything is to make us lazier. We have peanut butter and jelly in one jar.
This is our life. I don't know. A comedian was talking about if you go back in time, and everyone's always like, if I went back in time, I would invent the cell phone, and then I would be a billionaire. Be like, no, you wouldn't. You don't know how to make a cell phone. Just because you have a cell phone doesn't mean you can go and make a cell phone. I feel like that's the same thing, but just in the future. There's no who knows how to make a cell phone. There's 2 guys,
right?
And then they made robots who know how.
Yeah,
it's just those 2 people.
Because you can get all your socialness that you want through social media, and maybe that's a big leap to say, but people do it to where this is what I've noticed: the people that are the quote unquote loudest on social media, they're not afraid to speak their mind. They say all this stuff. They'll get on comments. They'll do all this stuff. They tend to be the most quiet. Mm-hmm. When I see them in person, it's they're super, super quiet. But then the people that you hardly ever see on social media, their social media stuff is just pathetic because they haven't made a post in 3 months or 3 years. Mm-hmm. You go and see them, and they're talking and everybody. I'm like, oh, the extroverts don't have time
because they're busy having friends.
They're actually they're actually like expressing themselves out in the real world. They're not. Oh wait, let me write this down. Like let me post
write
this
down
on
my
Twitter.
feelings like a true introvert.
Yeah, it's not always true, but it's just something I know. It's specifically in men. Mm-hmm. Women, it's a little bit harder, but I feel like with men, if you're super loud on social media and you're not like a business trying to promote something, you're probably pretty quiet. And then vice versa. If you're barely go on social media, you're probably because you're too busy hanging out with people and telling stuff.
I think all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's all, and it's like overwhelming almost. Always thinking. So, but I think the most though. I think the most while I'm doing something.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm sitting there, that's why it's tough for me to talk like at family dinners. Everybody's sitting at the table talking. I can't talk because I have to be like after dinner. Mm-hmm. I have to be doing something to think. I can't. This is actually kind of hard for me. Like, because I'm not doing anything. If we were all like working on a shed, I'd be able to like.
Should we go on location the next recording?
Yeah, because I could talk my ear off.
Put on some lavaliers, start walking around carrying stuff.
You know what's funny is with occasionally, I wish I did it more and I try to, is just drawing. Something I like to do, not necessarily good, but when I'm drawing, it's obscene how much I think. Like
that's like me. So with doing the music.
Yeah.
If I'm writing music, if I'm always in the basement just messing with the music equipment. Yeah. I'm always thinking about. It's like a weird multitask. Yeah. You have to do that to like get thinking. That's why I get kind of obsessive with stuff. I got like if I'm doing something, since it's so much time peaceful and thinking. Yeah. I end up like.
It's very therapeutic.
Building a shed.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'll be able to finish a shed really fast. Yeah. Because you're not thinking about it. It's just you're thinking about it. I don't know. You just keep going and going and going because it feels good to think and just like therapeutic and you keep going.
Mm-hmm. See, in a way, like I'm constantly thinking and constantly getting paranoid about things and all that type of stuff. But if I find someone to latch onto, I just release all those thoughts. Mm-hmm. Until I can't talk no more. And then I go, okay. And then I like go back to my lonesome self or whatever I'm doing. And I just kind of refill my brain with ideas. And then I'm like, man, I can't wait to release this on some poor soul.
So many
and
things.
Then, and I never get to all of it. My voice never gets to that point. And then sometimes I get to a point where I'm like, Vince, you've been talking for a little too much. Maybe you should start listening because I don't think anyone's paying attention to
See,
this.
My problem is I think of it all. And it's like, all right, I'm prepared for battle on this topic. Yeah. And then the topic comes out. I'm like, yep. Like I don't have the energy to say it all. It's like, this is what it is. If you don't understand it, like the hours I've spent understanding
this
it.
is what it. No, like I'll be thinking on a topic so long, and I have it, and be like, I have so much to say about it. And then they'll go lawnmowers, and I'll be like, here we go. And then I'll like
those things are great.
I like them, and I like start like in the middle, assuming you're all in my brain too. You were in the beginning with me.
Yeah, those are great. Waste management, and here's right in the beginning. Well, waste management, they're kind of crazy. Yeah.
Jeez.
You know what I do too? Like, if I agree with something you're saying, that's the end of it. Like, I don't need to say anything. Like. You say something like this, and I have other points that like justify. Yeah, that is true because of this, this, and this. But I already know. Why would I say that to you? You already get it.
Right. Who am I selling?
I notice a lot. Maybe it's just I notice a lot with our family, Anthony. Is we like
say the same thing?
Everyone's saying the same thing, but they say it aggressively, like
you
you're
don't
disagreeing.
Right?
They'd be
like you don't understand.
They'd be like, yeah, the sky is blue. But if you think about it, the sky is an aqua.
Yeah. Then I'll say no. But it's actually blue. Isn't that crazy? You go, yeah, oh my God, it is blue.
Green and yellow mixed together.
But it's blue, right?
Mm-hmm. It's blue. Right. But it's kind of, now wait a minute. Yeah. The sky is blue. It just gets this thing. And I'm like, wait a minute, we're all on the same side here, but we're all just aggressively
I don't like the tone. If everyone could just dial it back. No, with what you were saying, if someone, I'm almost different in the way of if someone says something, I agree with them, I can't just say yes. I get like a high off of me saying more and you going, yes.
That's what he's talking about. Yeah, exactly.
If I get someone to point at me with their entire hand and go, yes, exactly. Right. Wow. Talk about heroin.
But see, what's funny is on the opposite end, if I don't agree, I don't want to insult you and be mean, so
I will
I'm not going to
quiet.
say.
I don't argue about anything.
Right.
Ever.
Right. If you say something I don't agree, I'll just to myself, I don't know about that. And then like you'll be like, what do you think? I'll be like, oh, yeah, you know.
Whatever
cool.
you think, that's what I
Yeah.
think. It's very shunned upon to be a cat person. I can't tell people. I just lie about it.
Yeah.
Again, it's one of the things. I lie about it. I don't tell people. You'll never know. You know. Everyone here knows. If someone asks me, you love dogs?
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Why wouldn't I? I hate loud noises. Do you also like furry cats?
Everyone kind of views like cats are more the introvert, dogs are more the extrovert.
You guys have both, and you're both. Neither of you are really extroverts or entirely extroverts, and so I have no idea what you people are because you have dogs, plenty of dogs, always got dogs, and cat that one.
Yep, we've had at least 2 cats.
And so it doesn't make sense to me. I mean, maybe it's just because you go, well, dog people, they're uppity with their dogs, and because dogs is a full-time job, and then cat people are like, I want something low maintenance. He'll talk to me when I talk to him.
Yeah.
I pet him, and then he goes away for 3 months, and then he comes back. I feed him. It's a great relationship. No one relies on anybody.
Yeah.
See, here's what I don't get about the cat. And that's always the example. Like,
Right.
It just, I have that same thing with the deer that goes in my backyard. I can throw bread. And then
He knows where to get the bread.
Yeah.
Right.
But you know what's funny is they say that, and I say that as a benefit. Except my cats don't leave me alone. That's not our relationship at all. They I'll get mad at them. Be like, "What do you think you're a dog? Leave me. What are you doing? Leave me alone."
That's how my cat
They
is.
greet me at the door. Get out.
If my cat isn't asleep for 18 of the hours a day, she's walking around. She wants food. She wants treats, and I have a whole plate filled with food and treats. She don't care. She just wants me to like pet her and stuff.
Can't
and
see it.
She wants love. Anthony never really had a cat. Would you ever get a cat, Anthony?
No.
Okay.
Would never get a cat.
Because it's like the deer.
Yeah, exactly.
I caught it from that.
We
Okay.
have cats all over our. There's always a cat that brings a dead mouse up to my house, puts something else. I gotta shovel it off. Cat's cool. Love cat. Like, I don't have a problem with cats.
Right.
I don't not like cats, but
Right.
like, I'd get a dog before a cat.
Right, because you see the benefit in it. Cat is. No, I totally agree. I mean, I'm never gonna get a dog, but
Right.
I totally agree
Right.
with what you're saying. You'd be like,
But now you
why
gotta-
would I get a pet if it's not gonna do anything for me? Do a backflip, flip upside down.
Well, that's why people get cats because I don't want it like. It just does its own thing. Well, so does the squirrel outside.
Right.
Like, but now I don't have to pay for its medical bills. I don't have to
I'm
pay for
totally
it in general.
on
I
the
mean, you
side of
technically
it, except for some reason, still
gotta
because it
get
doesn't
cat.
make any sense. Why do you? I want the cat because it won't be a pet, so don't get a pet. Just don't get one. Sorry, I like it. Nelson comes and sleeps with me. Other than that, I don't really see him too much. He just trusts that I'm gonna feed him twice a day.
I've noticed that I go, I'm a dog person. I love dogs.
No, yeah.
Look at the dogs; they're so great.
Mm-hmm.
But when I see a dog or a dog comes up to me, I'm like, whoa, let's put the brakes on this, okay? Calm down. Go, get away from me, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Move. I need some personal space. But then you go, a cat. Ugh. I don't know if I want a cat. That's kind of weird. They're kind of their own thing, whatever. But then when you go and see a cat, you're like, hey, I get this. I get it. I get the lifestyle of the cat. He sleeps, and when he wants something, you can kind of pet him, and then he kind of walks away. It's a low maintenance, but at the same time, like in comparison to like a squirrel, a deer, a wild animal, you can still pet it. You still get that feeling of a pet, but it's like, hey, he's doing his own thing. He's independent. I respect that. And I have a dog and a cat.
People just want something soft that moves around.
Yeah. Because then you can say, well, why don't you get goldfish? That's like the coldest, literally like this the farthest away thing. Everyone tries to get a goldfish to curve the pet thing. Like, our kids want a pet. Let's give them a really crappy goldfish. They're like 99 cents. They'll forget about it after 2 weeks and it'll die and we'll flush it away. That never sticks. It lasts a day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Goldfish can't look at you with both eyes. It's either one or the other.
What about people that get lizards and snakes and stuff?
I don't understand that at all.
Me neither.
And I get such a hard time occasionally because I have such a strong stance in it. Why do you own a predator? Like you gotta get a snake. It's badass. He's my enemy. It's in the Bible. It's the first bad guy. I want to own one. What's he gonna do? You can't touch him. My snake, I put on my shoulders. And
Well,
take it
that's
around
what
the
people
house.
do it, though.
I know they do.
I don't know why.
What do you feed it? I gotta buy a rodent 4 times a day. Who's got that kind of money? What does that cost?
Here's the funny, like to me, a snake or a rodent, like it's sticky and sweat. Like I got to shower after.
Yeah.
My dog can go eat his shit and then go lick my face.
You're like, all right, time to work.
I shower first, then I eat it. Like, that's
a little cleaner than the shower.
Right.
Yeah. I don't understand.
You got to feed them crickets.
Yeah.
You ever have crickets and you got to keep them overnight?
Crickets for lizards with the tongue. It's got to be a whole affair.
My college roommate had that, and at night you'd hear all these crickets because he didn't kill them all.
Ew, and they'd probably get out too.
Oh, yeah.
Snakes, you have to feed them mice. Okay, for dogs and cats and even birds, they take what the animal eats. Let's say for dogs as T-bone steaks, and they turn it into the plastic crap food that's in the big bag, right?
Yeah.
They make it food you can buy. Why, if now snakes and lizards are pets, why did they not bother at all to turn crickets and mice into like convenient things you can buy? They're the only ones where you're like, yeah, you still gotta buy other living things.
There's not enough people buying these type of creatures. They're not like, yeah, if we take all that hard work putting into this,
A little bag of mice,
Straight down powdered crickets.
I wonder if it has something to do with like they need to hunt. But
That could be it. You know, if we could
They
give
need
them
help. But like dogs and cats, they like have that urge to hunt
say
too.
that too, yeah.
So, okay, so the next useless animal is birds.
Talk about like just not.
What about the parrot?
Oh my gosh. Here's okay.
Because you could tell it to say,
Whatever.
"Hey, fucker," and they do.
And it's hilarious.
I feel like
Now, would that be annoying? Yes,
absolutely.
But
have you guys had a bird?
yeah, we did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one.
We had every
You have
pet,
one,
yeah.
then you learn.
Yeah, the worst pet ever.
Wait, was yours a cockatiel?
You know how
Or
mine
was it
died?
a parakeet?
Parakeet. You know how it died? Heart attack. We didn't want to.
How do you know?
I don't know. That's what my parents said. It just got scared to death and died. I feel like the bird is the ultimate extreme example of just admit you don't care about the animal. Just say it. Stop saying you love animals and then you get a bird and you put it in prison.
Yep.
What do birds do? They fly. Not mine.
Yep.
What does he love? Freedom? Mm-mm.
I don't understand either the outdoor cat.
Yeah.
Because that's the same as, well, I got the outdoor birds. They're always fly. I always got birds.
Richie has outdoor cats.
I got tons of them.
Yeah. Well, I feel like there's the outdoor cat,
So
the
what-
indoor outdoor cat, and then there's because I've had
That
friends.
one really is the deer, and it just
Yeah.
shows up. You throw the food out there.
I've had friends.
Just don't come in the house.
Don't
Just,
wait, wipe,
Animal-
your,
yeah.
wipe your feet.
Wipe your paws.
I've had friends that have like the extreme. Like I've had most of my cats, except for my current ones, are like indoor, outdoor.
Mm-hmm.
But I've had friends that they're like outdoor cats. Like the bowl's outside.
Right.
They're kind of inside. Their hair's always
and
nappy.
they go, get the cat outside. Yeah.
Get him outside. And be like, you don't own that cat.
Right.
He's in the forest most days.
Well, you trained your cats to like chill outside and
And then they come back. Occasionally,
Right.
we see them like across the street on DeQuinder. Come on.
get over here, champ. Now, with the rodent category, so we've had guinea pigs, gerbils, and hamsters. We had gerbils for a day because they're really tiny and they would bite you. We had hamsters, but they kept getting diarrhea and dying.
Oh my God.
And then the guinea pigs were cool. Do you remember the guinea pigs?
But they bit you all the time.
No, they scratched you. They had little like claws. You'd pick them up and they go, ah. Oh yeah, they bite you. Now, here's my thing. People who have rats as pets.
See, I don't mind the mice. Like, I don't mind mice in general. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not going to have it as a pet, but like, if I see a mouse, I'm not like, eek. Why is it the word?
That's
Only
their
for
eek.
mice?
Yeah,
Eek.
It's eek.
that's true.
Why is that?
I don't
Nothing
know.
else. You could see Bigfoot. You're not gonna say eek. Eek. Maybe that's because you're
But
looking
what about
down.
bats? Is bats eek too? No, I think it's just the mice.
Unless it's like the bats are crawling like a mouse.
Yeah,
Like it's not flying. It's
yeah. It's just kind of it's kind of army.
it's got to be small and crawling and kind of furry.
Like, no, everyone's like, oh, you know, rats and mice or one of those. Oh, they make great pets. I'm like, these things that cause the plague make great pets. When I was a kid, we'd bring food down our basement, eat it, whatever. And my parents were like, if you keep bringing food down there, there's gonna be mice. And we're like, yeah, whatever. I don't see any, therefore they're not real. And then one day we had to like clean out our couch. And the inside of the couch was a nest filled with dead baby mice.
Remember that.
Yeah.
You had a problem with it.
I
Naturally.
to this day,
Right.
I have a phobia for mice and rats
Oh my God.
because I'm afraid. I'm like, I just had this feeling like I was sleeping on top of that. They were probably crawling all over me and
Oh my
stuff, and like, and every once in a while I have a nightmare where like I'm somewhere and all these rats are crawling on me. I'm terrified. I'm terrified of it. But I also think it's stupid that you want that as a pet. That thing lives in a sewer drain.
Not the pet ones though.
I don't know.
They don't find them in the sewer.
My wife had a bunny for a week. It was a lion head rabbit.
Here?
Waste your time.
No, in college.
Oh, yeah.
But you couldn't keep it because it was in college. And here's the selling point, was you could take these rabbits on walks. Like, you put them on a leash, and you take them on walks. And they're these little, like, furry things. But, yeah, we can't even take this out because if our landlord finds out that we have a pet in here, they're going to charge us, like, $5,000.
What kind of crazy psychopath superhero is walking a bunny on a leash?
It's like a criminal mastermind. Hello.
Like, you have to be a criminal or like an evil villain, and you're called like the Hopper. You're like, me and my rabbit. All right.
And he jumps to conclusions.
He doesn't have any superpowers except always jumping to conclusions. Someone's stealing my bank account. You all jump to a conclusion.
That's why he does evil things. Like,
He just assumes everyone's after him. Hey, what's that? What are you doing?
I have to stop you.
That was a deep hour of
Yeah, that was good. That was good stuff. But I guess it's kind of hard to determine if a kid is fully an extrovert or introvert, but
because there's always going to be shy kids. I mean, like, if you just delete everything and you just have kids on a playground, there's still going to be freaking Barry in the corner.
But is but is that because if you delete everything now, or someone was born and never had this?
That's what I mean. Yeah, like if you still have the kids playing, I feel like there would still be
For us,
weird.
that's normal, right?
Right. Yeah. I feel like this is important to include in the podcast. The following sentence.
yeah.
I feel like by the end of this podcast, we're just going to realize that introvert and extrovert is a weird thing to talk about, and that everybody's a little bit of each. And like, I can't think of a way where it's just like it's not both, because we keep trying to, and we can't think of a person that's not like that. And I feel like if we think of a person that's not like that, it's just because we're not putting ourselves in their shoes.
That's the end, right?
I think that's the end of the.
I think that's a wrap.
Podcast. That's right, guys. That's
I think we got it.